ultimately, it is very important you understand that spirituality, when it comes to all the raw concerning life, just doesn't involve what you might want to call spirit in a sense that's not physical about it. There's a difference between physicality and what the flesh just is. I explained before that the flesh is spirit too, but it's more or less defined, especially after the sin came in, it is more defined in the spirit of what? Corruption. So anytime that we mention the flesh, the thought comes, for instance, that's got to do with what? Sin. But the flesh is not physical, it's spiritual. You see, but sometimes that the tendency could be in the direction of trying to relate, for instance, the flesh to actually physicality, which is not the case. What I'm trying to say is that the flesh is spirit. But that kind of spirit, the spirit after the sin came in, it is what? The one that has been involved in corruption, if you like. Born of his own flesh is trying to describe a person whose modification is in the light of what? The one is born of the will of the flesh and the will of man. That's just the flesh, but without sin, right? The same thing we want to put in the context of a living soul, that is the flesh. But I'm saying that most of the time that we get ourselves a little more involved in trying to find really what the flesh is in the spirit of sin, because much of which has been called sin, it is by reason of how the people that has got to do the image of God, who actually have the living souls, or the same time the flesh, that got themselves involved in the same thing. So their whole modification became more like in itself corruption. So anytime you mention the flesh, for instance, then there's a thought of sin actually comes in. Not because the flesh itself has any issue, it doesn't. It only means that a person will relate much with things from the kind of spirituality solely from the physical point